What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on, man? Welcome to Straight Facts with Gutta, episode 2. We're about to get right to it, man. About to let the people in. About to invite my fellow cast. Lady, what up? Les, what up, sweetie? About to bring you up. About to get my cast in here, man. This is Straight Facts with Gutta, episode 2, Mental Health Edition. Get my cast in here. I have Miss Leslie in the building.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's get everyone in here. There's going to be a goodie. Get everyone in here. Mr. Malik is in the building, so let's bring him up as well. That's our special guest co-host today, Mr. Malik Sharad. We're going to bring him up. And DWI is in the building as well, so let's bring them both up.
Okay. Great.
Pretty Vegan, how you doing, Pretty Vegan? Hello. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
This is Code. What up?
What up?
This is Straight Facts with Gutta, the Mental Health Edition, episode 2. We have, normally our cast is Miss Tanisha, Miss Leslie, Mr. DWI.
Yes, sir.
Tanisha took a mental health day today. She has she has the business to take care of. Nicole, what up, sweetie? Kathy, what up? And we have a special guest co-host, Mr. Malik Sharad. How you doing, sir?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You sound
man,
really
you're very
energetic,
welcome, man.
like he ready
Thank
to do it.
Yep.
Listen,
Yes.
man, here's the thing, right? The thing is, I created this platform, but I love taking a seat back to my experts. My two experts are Miss Leslie and Miss Tanisha. Today, I have a male expert, which is something that I love, because I love the fact that people can come on here and they have someone that they can relate to, someone that what you're saying can resonate with them, and they feel that connection. And if they feel like that's something that they need to dive into, then they feel more comfortable doing so. You know what I'm saying? So, Malik, man, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time out to chill with us today. You and Miss Leslie, y'all gonna hold it down. I told Miss Leslie she's gonna hold it down today. So again, thank you everyone for coming out. This is Straight Facts with Gutta, the Mental Health Edition, episode 2. Miss Leslie, please introduce yourself, and then Malik, and then you guys can take it away.
Hi, I'm Leslie. I'm a social worker and I'm a coach as well. Work with the mentally ill population, individual family therapy, as well as individual therapy. And in every community that I've served, I've always had the individual that have mental health. Our co-host today is a childhood friend. We live in the same community. He's an entrepreneur, and he has gone through some things in his life which contributed to him having to embrace therapy, because we had a big conversation that therapy is not always because something bad happens in your life. So I just want to be clear on that. Sometimes, things may shift in your life, such as a baby being born, or you just got married and having to learn how to share space with another person. You may go to therapy for that. So I was excited about getting Malik here to tell his story, because I think his story can help a lot of people, especially in our community to embrace or consider therapy.
Yeah. And just before Malik introduces himself to the people, I just want to let everyone know we have a lot of resources that we are going to be putting up on our website once we do edit episodes 1 and 2. Today's pinned comment is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is 1-800-273-8255. Every week we will have one pinned comment where we will have the phone number and what it's for. I would like to thank Ms. Leslie for giving me 7 resources. So we would have up to 7 weeks. Like, you know what I'm saying? So every week we're gonna have something on here. So, everyone like this is, like I like to say, and DW, I like to tease me on this, but this is a safe place, guys. Like, ultimately, like, this is something that we do a lot of different things. We do a lot of different events. Outside is starting to open back up. You guys are about to start seeing us outside, a lot more. But in the meantime, in between time, we're gonna do the virtual thing. Malik, introduce yourself to the people, bro.
How you doing? My name is Malik Sherrod, and I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm beating depression. Leslie and I, we go back to when I was about her size, when I was skinny, when I was am now.
First of all, Malik, we're not talking about birth, okay?
All right, all right.
Well, I was gonna tell you that I like your hat, but I'll say that for later. I'm a Knicks fan, but again, my name's Malik Sherrod. Leslie and I go back. I was suffering with severe depression. I still go to therapy, and I just really started telling my story. My therapist said a while ago, I need to talk to other people, get out there to let people know that therapy is dope. There's nothing wrong with therapy. And I love that shirt. And I'm glad Les invited me. I'm glad you let me on your platform. You didn't vet me or anything. You didn't ask for my social security number or anything. And I'm just coming speaking from my heart of 7 years of severe depression and still go to therapy. 9413 Flatlands Avenue. Get off the 6 bus right there, walk right inside, walk past the West Indian Man and make a right and ask to see Edward. But there's other therapists there. But I'm just here to tell my story and to help anybody. To let them know, look, I'm an almost 50-year-old man. I still go to therapy. If it wasn't for prayer and therapy, I would not be here. And I thank God you put up that number and keep talking about that number, that suicide prevention number.
Yeah, no, because the thing is that a lot of times, especially from the Black and brown community, we don't shed light on certain things. We feel shame to do so. Our families always, like, I don't know about you guys, but like with me coming up, it's kind of like we always see, like cousins and things like that going through like what I would call seasonal depression and things like that, and our parents and our grandparents not being well versed on it, kind of saying, "Man, boy, shut up and go to your room. Go do them dishes." You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, so then you kind of, as you get older, you start saying like, damn, should I say, should I, is this right? Is this wrong? And at the end of the day, you have to feel comfortable. And I want everyone to feel comfortable to, each one teach one, come out here. Like, you have people that are like-minded individuals. You have individuals that either went through it, are going through it, or beat it already. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And to me, it's not even about beating something to a certain extent, because a lot of times you have to go to therapy until you pass away, unfortunately, because it's something that you never know. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it's better to stay ahead of the curve. That way you don't have to go through certain things or get too low. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
To always try to stay even keel to a certain degree. So if you ever feel a bout of anxiety or depression or anything, attack it, go at it, and you'll be better off for it. And again, I'm going to say National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. It is anonymous. Guys, by all means, please, you are all loved. We here for y'all. And if you ever feel like you ever need to talk to someone, that is anonymous, 1-800-273-8255. Take it away, guys.
So, Malik, I would like to know what, you don't have to tell everything, but tell us what made you as a man beat the stigma to head to therapy.
I just felt something just wasn't right. I knew from when my mother had to come get me in Carolina that something wasn't right. it just, I wasn't myself. I was hiding when I first got back to New York. I didn't want to see nobody, and I just knew like something's not right. Look at the back of that insurance card. Call, gave them my zip code. They gave me a bunch of places. Remember now, I didn't want to be seen.
Right.
So I would take the train, and I could have got right on the 6 bus and went to therapy. I would take the train to duck people. I just didn't feel like myself. Like the way I'm talking to you now, 6 years ago, I was ducking the call. I wasn't even answering the phone. You know, it was just, I just felt out of place. I wasn't myself. So I just felt I had to do something about it. And one of the things too, you would always hear PSAs. You would see this, you would see that. And you would never think you would be in that position. But I was in that position. Okay. Made the call. 6 years later, I feel better. You know?
So, therapy, feel me person was therapist because I experience. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for a person to be comfortable and trusting of the person who they're receiving therapy from. When you were referred to your first therapist, were you comfortable with that person, or did it take some time?
I'm glad you said that. Actually, since I've been going to therapy, I've had 2 therapists. The first one, and you know, God is so good. The first one, we had literally saw each other about a year and a half ago. That place closed down, but thank God they sent me, you know, they kept calling me, and I went to another place. And we saw each other at CBS. And she was just like, you know, she was looking at me, and I could tell she like wanted to cry because she could tell I was a different person. And she said, I can remember you sitting, as big as I am, sitting in the corner like I was nervous. You know what I mean? And it worked out. You know, she didn't transfer to the new location on Flatlands Avenue, okay. But then I had to start all over, and that was kind of rough. And now I've been with the same therapist now 2 years. It was so unique. I went through the same thing with him, where, you know, I had to gain that trust. We had to talk. We had, you know, it was every Wednesday before. And here we go, you know, it's through the grace of God that I have the same therapist, which, you know, is very rare, 2 years. Some move on, some go to another location, but it took time, just like with anything. You know, we're going to catch the 15 bus. It's supposed to be at 6:15. You know, you better be out there 5:55 and sitting there waiting. Or with a girlfriend, you know, you have to get used to her. Right.
So now that you trust this person and you've been going to this person for quite some time, what do you feel are your strengths now because and with dealing and coping with depression? I mean, because I know sometimes people have setbacks because of things going on in their life, and they don't stop being depressed even though they're winning by being an entrepreneur and they're having good things happen to them. They still have moments when they have a little setback. How is that working out for you?
I'm glad you said that also. Just a few weeks ago, when we had that snow and everything, I told my therapist, I was like, yo, I'm kind of feeling kind of funny, like, you know, like that thing trying to creep up on me. And he said, he went just like that. What's it doing outside right now? I said, it's snowing. He said, is it cold? I said, yeah. Has it been like that the past few days? I said, yeah. He said, you're stuck in the house. It's dreary outside. You can't do your usual normal things. And I was like, yeah. But that was one instance. Then another time I was feeling, you know, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I was feeling kind of lonely. You know, was married 11 and a half years, almost 12 years. And I'm like, you know, but I did things. I started reading. I started going out a little bit more. You know, I wasn't, you know, Les, I'm not antisocial. Right. So I started going out a little bit more. So whenever I started feeling kind of funny, there was always something that, you know, like you said earlier, bro, you got to attack it. One of y'all said it, like you can't let that thing creep up on you, because that thing will just choke you out. You can't let it. So like that time a couple of weeks ago when it was snowing the past few days, cold, nasty, I was feeling kind of funny. He was like, it's nasty out. And I was like, oh yeah. Or when I felt kind of lonely, you know, I went out, you know, started talking to people more, went to the diner, went to the comedy show, things like that. Bothered you, call it, you know, things of that nature. You know what I mean? And you have, it's a constant fight. It's a constant fight. It's
What
a
do you
constant
feel,
fight.
Malik? What do you feel are one of the things that you do the most as a coping mechanism that will not instantly bring you out of that bout of depression, but at least it's quicker than the norm? What are some of the coping mechanisms?
Get out of the norm. What I mean by that, don't do the same thing. Like Sunday's like a relax, like self-care Sunday. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to do nothing till this time. Jumped out, went to the food truck on Fountain. Miss Spuds picked up some food, dropped less stuff off, ran my mouth with a few other people. Instead of just laying in the bed scratching and looking crazy, I just did something out the norm. You know, usually we're in church on Sunday, but church is on Zoom or either Facebook Live. And then after therapy, I got the rest of the day to myself. But I jumped up. You know what I mean? So what do I do when I start feeling funny like that? I get out my norm and just try and do something different.
Exactly.
Right, but that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. And not only it's not that they don't realize it, it's that they're so used to it because it is the norm that we don't think that it's abnormal to constantly do the norm. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get out of that mentality of being in that same cycle. You continue in that same cycle. It's a vicious cycle because you're not even
Yes.
realizing, but you're making the bout with depression worse. And you know, like you have to change your environment. You have to change your outlook on things. You have to change even how things look within your home. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? Like one thing that my mother used to always do was she used to always change the colors of the entire apartment every season. And I never understood why until I got older. And I'm like, wait a minute, why the hell? And I'm like, oh my God, now I got to go up and help her take this down. And this shit is heavy as hell. You know how old school everything, that should be heavy, right? So I'm
Yes.
like, yo, every season. So then as I got older, and I'm like, yo, this lady was a genius.
Mhm.
She looked like she didn't know because everyone that came to visit her would say automatically, I felt different as soon as I walked in. I felt alive. I felt the colors. I felt, and it'll be snowing out, but you'll feel like a completely different person inside of her apartment. And it was always wild to me, but I didn't get it until as I got older. So it's funny you say that. You know, you have to get out the norm.
Right.
And that's a good point too. That's a good point. That's a good point.
So, based off of what Jay Gutta just said, also, I was going to ask you about coping as well. Oftentimes, I give journals and things like that to my clients. Do you have a routine that you do on a daily basis to stay normalized, quote unquote? Because normal could be defined differently to everybody. What is a normal routine for you every day to manage your mental health?
One of the things that's helping me now is becoming organized, which I am, and I'm admitted, but I'm not claiming it. And the vegan, she's gonna say don't say it, but she'll get me later on. Just like today when I had to drop
So
when I
get
had
me
to
later
drop it
on.
off. Yeah,
Yeah.
she gonna get me. When I had to drop that shirt, I dropped the stuff off right before 5 o'clock, and I still had to boogie back home, get the charger, do this. So just me, Jim Rome says it best. In order to be ready for tomorrow, you have to get ready today. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm trying to become less cluttered, become writing things down. The tea that I'm sipping on, Garden Girl tea, she's helping me with that. She's somewhat of my accountability coach. Like, what are we working on today? Are we working on the website? Are we? So things, remember I said
But
Sunday
wait,
is this?
Malik. You can't give someone a shout out and not give the people the information. Make a real shout out. Give the people the information. Where
Hey,
can they get
give
this tea from?
shout out and the tea lady shout out.
Yes,
And
definitely.
you saw I tried to slip that in on y'all, right? My bad. I tried to slip it in on you.
Nah, we business minded people. You ain't slipping nothing through nothing.
And her name is Garden Girl Teas. She's on Instagram. I get my sea moss and my tea, the tea that I'm sipping on some butterscotch thing right now. Also, the Pretty Vegan, she's helping me with my so I could protect my sexy and keep my health right and lower my weight and eat the right food. And with those two people that are in my life, they're helping me cope. Because if I show you in that room right there, y'all might come over and fight me the way it looks. So all of those things are helping me. Just a lot, and I said it already, getting out of my norm, cleaning up, different things that I wouldn't usually do. Like I should have did stuff earlier, but today I was just kind of, what I was amped about today at 5 o'clock, which I'm still amped. But that's one of the things that helped me coming out of my norm, getting organized. I mean, I'm in a good place, man. I'm in a way better place than I was a few years ago. And I thank God, y'all, and I'm going to say it again. I thank God y'all pinning that number right there, because that number is real. All right? That number is real. That suicide number.
No, but this is something that, I mean, again, I'm gonna say, this is Straight Facts with Gutta, episode 2, the mental health edition. That is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline number, 1-800-273-8255. And another thing to piggyback off of what Mr. Sherrod was indicating, when you have a cluttered home, you indirectly cluttering your mental health. You're indirectly cluttering your mind. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, like you said, you have to get out of that norm, and you have to take certain steps, because every small step is going to lead to a big step. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, therapy is dope. Shout out to Yashir. Like that's dope, man. And that definitely needs to keep pushing that narrative and get more and more people involved and let them know that, it's okay. I'm a firm believer that 98% of us deal with mental health. We just don't know that we deal with mental health. And some of us deal with it differently. A lot of us have a lot of different coping mechanisms. Some people, they start feeling a certain way, they hit the gym, or they play with their kids, or they play video games, or, it's just different, or they read a book, or they write poems, whatever it is. And whatever it is that you do to get out of it, by all means, salute to y'all. But never, ever, ever let it get too far to where you're feeling too down. You know what I mean? So, Ms. Leslie, take it away, sweetie.
Yeah, so.
And that's what I did. Could I add on to that, Les? That's what I did.
Of course.
When I was in Carolina, Les, I didn't get up. I could legitimately say I could legitimately say that. And you're going to say, nah, I don't believe that. I ate every other day.
Wow.
The restaurant, when I lived in Charlotte, when I moved from Carolina to Charlotte, they knew my number and had my debit information. Monday chicken wings, French fries. Wednesday chicken wings, French fries, and the 2-liter Sprite. And I wasn't eating, So you have to, like you said, you have to get out of that. I just sat not in the bed. I just sat on the futon looking at Law and Order all day, because Law and Order come on all day. You know what I mean? So you're right about that. You have to, and it's hard. You have to fight yourself out of that. I just wanted to add on that. Excuse me, Les.
That's okay.
Yeah. No, but to add to that, but Ms. Leslie, what's crazy about what he said, that we wouldn't believe him. I believe you 1,000%, and that's actually the worst way to treat your body, because you're slowing down your metabolism.
Absolutely.
So now, a lot of people are now learning about fasting, right? The word fasting, the word breakfast came from fasting. That's all it is.
Exactly.
You're breaking your fast. It's breakfast. That's all it is, right? So now, when we break that fast, no matter what time we break it, no matter if it's 2 days later, right? Now we're looking at the levels in our body, in our brains, right? If we're breaking that fast with fried foods, those chicken wings and fries that you loved in the Carolinas, Malik, right?
Arteries.
Right, you're clogging your arteries, which is ultimately affecting your brain cells and is putting you deeper into depression. That's why I'm so happy that you're dealing with the sea moss like that. That made me smile, because I've been taking sea moss for about a year now.
Okay.
And I feel 100% different. I don't feel like I'm dragging. I don't feel sluggish. I don't feel none of that. And you know what I'm saying? We have to drink water. We have to deal with the sea moss. These are things that we have to do as human beings, because the way our bodies are set up is that we're not, the foods that we're eating, number one, are not as nutrient as we think they are, right?
Right.
So now God put all these natural things on earth for us, but yet we want to fry everything. We didn't. It wasn't intent to be fried. You know what I'm saying? So why do we get away from the natural elements that were put on here for us to survive? Why?
Right.
Miss Leslie, take it away, sweetie.
So, Malik, I wanted to ask you this question before, but I never asked you this question because I wanted to wait till today. Have you at any point as a man, as a black man in a community that's populated with mostly black people, feel ashamed? Because most of the time what happens from my experience is that people do not take services remotely close to where they live. Have you ever felt shame due to the stigma of therapy?
Yes, yes, yes.
And
Um,
so, an example to when and how you felt ashamed?
just going. If somebody did see me coming from the C train Shepherd Avenue, man, I just came from, doing something, or I would just get off the subject. When somebody saw me on Rockaway Parkway, oh Jesus, oh Jesus. I mean, I would panic, because I couldn't come up with it. Remember now, I was that fly cat in South Carolina, the club, the store, the bad ex-wife, the kids, I was that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm back in Brooklyn. What you doing? I've been back 7 years now, Les. I've been going back for the past 7 years. Like, yo, I'm leaving next week, son. So I was embarrassed, but I think what brought me out of it was I started talking about it.
Okay.
Okay. When I
Okay.
started working, started talking,
Yeah, remember
opened up a
station and you found out where I was working and all of that stuff?
Say it again. You went in and out. Say it again.
Remember the time when we had the conversation and that's when I learned that you were receiving mental health services and you were like, oh, wow, you know about that place? And I was like, yeah, I used to work there. And you was like, oh, wow. I said, the world is not as big as we think it is.
Exactly.
So these are the things that I'm grateful to be able to have this conversation with you and be able to share you with my team on this platform, that we could let people know that you don't have to be ashamed to look for services. The services are there to save your life, to put you in a different space and place, mentally, physically, emotionally, because I know what it's like to go through depression. Only thing is, I didn't get services. When my dad passed away, it's like everything just went crazy. I was a impulsive shopper, and I have clothes galore that I can honestly say but I knew what it was. That's the only difference. And I knew how to manage a little differently. It was sort of kind of like a functional alcoholic, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I still went to work. I still bathed. I still, did my hair and all of that stuff. But I was Miss Shopaholic. I was buying the latest shoes. If they was on sale, I bought them in all 3 colors. But now I know what was going on. I'm like, yo, I was depressed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm the one that have the degree and the certifications and stuff in this field. So I just want everybody, the audience, to know, don't get it twisted. Just because I have the degree and the education and this is my profession by choice, doesn't mean that we or I cannot suffer from mental health illness. So
That's right.
I'm doing different, right? And I'm having conversations with such people such as yourself, Malik. I could talk to Gutta and say, what do you think about this? And I feed off the energy that he gives about things that I provide to him. But mental health is important to everyone, not just women.
Yes.
It's important for men. It's important for our children. I'm helping raise my nephew. And at the very beginning, I was like, yo, he lost his mom. He lost his grandfather. His father got in trouble. His father was taken away to do state time. What am I going to do? I don't want this kid to flip out on me. So I took him to therapy. Even though they discharged him less than 3 months, they was like, oh, he's fine. I said, okay, but I just wanted to make sure. But
Right.
they said,
But the thing is, Miss Leslie, that the stigma of showing weakness in the black and brown community That stigma of get over it. That stigma of you don't know what you're talking about. That stigma of that ignorance. And it's like it's a generational thing. It's something that comes from our parents not understanding, our
Yeah,
grandparents not understanding, their parents not understanding. So now it's like, okay, how do we break the cycle? And that's why I love having conversations with certain individuals that have that broke the curse.
yes,
Because no matter how you look at it, it's a curse. It's something that you is embedded in you to where you really feel like you're not man enough. Um you're not strong enough. Like, what are you talking about?
exactly.
Um wait, Miss Aquarius said I have a master's degree in psychology of human behavior. Lord knows I went through it. Miss Aquarius, I hope you got your makeup done, because I'm bringing you up. By all means, you are coming up here. Um, or if you need to throw a hat on, or whatever, go get it. I'm gonna give you about 5 minutes because we definitely need more people that the people can feel a connection to. Like I keep saying, the black and brown community, we're just not well versed on it, and the ignorance is just it's astounding, and we need to stop it.
Right.
That's the bottom line. Like I'm not allowing my. I have an 11-year-old son. I'm not allowing for him to fall into that rabbit hole of feeling like it's not okay to talk about your mental health.
That's right.
I don't care. I don't care what your friends say. I don't care about none of that. You talking to daddy, we're talking it out,
That's
and
right.
it's okay. It's
That's right.
it's a
And
safe place.
I'm happy you said that because my 11-year-old nephew son, um, I told him he could tell me anything. And, he had a bad day one time, and I'll never forget it. He was like, I miss my mom. I said, listen, you could cry. You could cry, and you could tell me about, he said he missed his mom and his dad. I said, you could cry. You could tell me whatever you feel. That's not going to make you a punk. You're not any of that. And he was like, I didn't want you to be upset. I said, I'm not upset. I miss them too. And we end up having a conversation. And the look on his face was like, wow, and he's 11, right? So
Right.
it was amazing that he was able to uh, the stuff that he was going through in that moment. So
Right.
this is Aquarius. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I would like to introduce Miss Aquarius to Straight Facts with Gutta, episode 2 of the Mental Health Edition. I see she didn't have to get ready. She was ready. She was born ready. Miss Aquarius, how you doing, sweetie?
I'm good, sir. How are you today?
Blessed and highly favored.
Amen. Hello, hello.
You introduce yourself to the people, let them know what your background is. I saw your message. I had to bring you up because we need
Absolutely.
we need more of the black and brown community coming up here. That way, if people can connect to us and just
Oh,
feel that it's
absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. Give me 1 second here. And throw these ear.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we
Malik,
Okay,
we
because
hear
I'm
you.
frozen. Okay.
It's frozen, but we can hear you though.
Love y'all.
Yeah, we could definitely hear you though. No, Miss Leslie, we're gonna give Miss Aquarius some time to get it together.
oh,
And
okay.
oh
She
no,
said
there you go.
things in.
On here.
We hear
Um,
you and we see you. You good?
Oh, go ahead and
no,
speak.
because I'm trying to throw my ear.
Okay.
Okay. So no, so definitely
I
get
didn't
get
know
the
we
get
could
the
have
audio.
4 people here. This is hot.
Yeah, no, we can have 4 people on here, and for everyone coming into the room, man, this is Straight Facts with Gutta, episode 2, the Mental Health Edition. We have Ms. Leslie, we have Malik Sharad here, and we have Mr. Aquarius, and we just
Okay,
talking
there
mental
you go.
health in the black. We just talking about mental health in the black and brown community, and
Oh, yeah. You
episode
know.
2 is more about how it affects men and the stigma behind it.
Oh, you know what? I work at FedEx
Mm-hmm.
and I've been on the job almost 14 years. And I see it every day, especially within the black and brown community.
Hmm.
It was heavy. You hear, especially black men saying, I don't want to be here. Why am I here? It's not just the mental, it was women as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just as equally. And I will tell you, I was one of those people. I had just moved up in the position to the first, as a matter of fact, very first senior master safety trainer as a Black woman. And when I got into that position, some things started happening. It started transpiring maybe about 2017, 2018. And, I'm a full-time student at this time. I was getting ready to go full-time. And I'm like, okay, Lord, there's some things that are just not sitting well with me. I need some help because the one thing I learned about it is this: God is always going to be your number one source.
Yes.
He's always going to be the number one source. He's your ultimate. I don't care how you slice it or dice it. And even in the situation when we go through stuff, we don't want to go through it, but I look at it as this way: God has me here for a reason.
Amen.
God has me here for a reason. Malik, you're still buffering.
What
You're
what
still.
what what happened to get you to a point where you needed services? Did you seek services or did you read
I
self?
did. I did. What happened was, and this 2021. It hit in the middle of 2019.
Okay.
What happened to me was, when I got into the position, I started to get my mojo. I'm like, oh, okay, this is how things supposed to go. And everything was going fine until coworkers at work, older people who've been with the company for over 30 plus years, older people started falling dead around me, like literally dying. So I'm like, okay. And my turning point was, I got to work I was leaving work one day. I'm stumbling. I'm going to do a safety check before I leave work, because I got off work at 4:30 every day. The first encounter was, I encountered an older gentleman. He fell dead at work in the bottom of a FedEx trailer. He was out
Jesus.
cold on the job. So I'm like, okay, maybe he just passed out. Let me jump down here in the bottom of the trailer to see if he's okay. His eyes are open. He's cold and it's hot outside. Like, okay. I'm like, okay, I'm calling for backup. I'm like, listen, this guy is dead. I can't get a pulse. Somebody get an ambulance. I mean, managers were ridiculing me, like, well, no, we're not going to do that. You're the team leader. You're the trainer. Why don't you do it?
Oh wow.
Wow.
I said, excuse my French. I said, what the hell? What? So I'm like, you know what?
Wow.
Don't even worry about it. Security heard me this particular day. Security heard me over the radio. They was like, Sandalia, don't worry about it. We got you. We heard what happened. We see what's going on. We got you. Don't worry about it. Just stay right there. Help is coming. I said, okay, cool. Following week, elderly lady with the company, been there 43 years, fell dead in my arms.
Oh.
Fell dead in my arms. And I'm like, okay, God, this is the last straw. I can't do this. I went through a situation where I couldn't get management on the phone. I was getting ready to get off work. I was at work maybe 5 hours past my time, and they had to pay me for it.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I know, family members start falling dead. My mom lost her great uncle. Then 2 weeks later, my cousin was killed holding her baby. Her story actually syndicated internationally. My friends found out about it here in Chicago. Then I lost the aunt 4 days afterwards. I got to a point where I'm like, okay, maybe if I just go to work, maybe if I can just blow past this. But it was more stuff between home and work that was transcending. I'm like, okay, I can't keep going through this. Mom and dad's in the middle of a divorce. I'm getting ready to go back to grad school again. I just finished graduating with 1 degree. I mean, my friends are falling sick, everything. I got so to a point where when I went to work one day, and this is where I snapped. When we lost my cousin, her story transcended over the news for almost 2 weeks. I'm sitting at the desk at work. One of the managers was trying to be funny. He grabbed the TV remote off my desk. He paused the TV. He said, "Oh God, that's your cousin? Y'all look alike. Was she a drug dealer or something?"
Oh,
And
wow.
all of this happened in 2019.
Yes,
Wow.
I snapped. When I say I snapped, I
Wow.
snatched the TV remote. I literally closed out my desk. I lapped out of my computer. I closed out of everything. I didn't say nothing to my supervisors. I didn't say anything to my managers. I instantly went and found my HR rep. And she was like, "Well, what's wrong with you?" "Really?" I said, "You know what? Don't worry about it." I said, "Look, I need to take leave. I'm going through a bereavement. I got a lot of stuff going on at home. I'm just tired. I'm instantly tired. I had a whole team full of managers follow me to the office. Well, Sandelia, you just can't up and leave. Guess what? I might be black, but I go through trauma just like anybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And please understand, I know this is a job, but I have to take care of my mental health first. I have to
That's
take
right.
care of me. And if
Right.
I can't take care of me, then what the hell you need me here for?" I told
Right.
all the managers that. I went and I signed my form at the time for bereavement, and I left. I took 2 weeks off work to be with my family, to try to heal. And I went home, I cried. I said, "Okay, Lord, you got to help me because I'm feeling some trauma here. I don't know what to do." And then I thought about it. I said, "Okay, I'm going through some paperwork." And I so happened to come up on some work-life balance things. I don't call it work-life balance. They use that term too loosely these days. I call it work-life integration
Hmm.
Okay.
because you're integrating everything, your life, your work. You're integrating a lot of things here. So
Right.
I found I found this thing for a therapist. I went and found my insurance card. I called the number. I said, "Yeah, I need some help. I need to find a therapist."
Hmm.
Now, they were instrumental in helping me find a therapist through Cigna because that's who my insurance was through.
Hmm.
My first therapist, after 2 sessions, I had to let him go because he was jumping to conclusion without listening.
Okay. I want to ask.
Active listening is one of the key elements, and not only a
Absolutely.
therapist that you speak to, but any kind of relationship that you have. It could
Yes.
be a friendship, it could be a relationship,
Exactly.
boyfriend, girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your side dude. I don't care. I'm not here to judge. Whoever you're talking to, that's who is active listening at all times. I just want to say thank you to everyone that's here so far. This is Straight Facts with Gutta, episode 2, the mental health edition. As you guys see pinned down there is a National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255.
Amen.
8255. Right here on the panel right now, I have Miss Leslie, I have Miss Aquarius, and I have Mr. Malisha Rod. Truth be told, what's going on, y'all? We're just doing a mental health edition. This is episode 2, and how the mental health affects the black and brown community, and just trying to get some information out there to the people and let everyone know that ultimately this is a safe place, and you guys ever need to talk or anything, we are here for y'all. Leslie, take it away, sweetie.
Yeah. So, how are you doing now? Because you shared a whole bunch of stuff with us. How are you doing now? Are you still in therapy? Do you feel shamed by therapy? How does your family see it? Because I know we come from families that, whatever happens to us, we keep it in this damn house and that's it. Nobody don't need to know. Let's kill each
Listen.
other.
I,
And there's a lot of bullshit. We fighting every day and we hitting each other
yeah,
on the head. Nobody don't need to know that. But when we go out
absolutely.
nice and pretty and we act like nothing's going on, are you dealing with any of those type of things?
You know what? Surprisingly, no. I'm not. Because, when I first got a chance to see, when I went to my second therapist, after I explained to her about the first one, I'm like, okay, God, I need a therapist who's Christian. I need a therapist who's active listening, who's not going to cut me off when I say something, and who's not going to judge me. And lo and
Hmm.
behold, that same therapist, as a matter of fact, she called me last week to check on me. And I haven't talked to her in about maybe a good 3 or 4 months.
Wait, hold on, Mr. Aquarius. Hold on. Not the first therapist you left. The second one?
The second one, yeah.
Oh,
She
the
called,
good one. The one that matters.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, got it, got it, got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
continue.
she called, yeah, but surprisingly, no, I wasn't judged for seeing a therapist. I wasn't judged for, oh, something's wrong with you, you're crazy. No,
Oh,
I kept it as
But did your family, your friends know from your
I,
initial therapist? Did they know? Because that's the thing, right? That from our upbringing and stuff, you see our families always say,
yes.
"How you just your
oh
therapist
yeah,
for? What is wrong with
oh
you?"
yeah,
But
definitely.
you didn't
No,
get none of that.
Yes.
I never got judged for it, no. And at first I kept it a secret because I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm seeing a therapist. Am I crazy? But you know what? Something said to me, everybody at some point in their life, whether you deal with trauma or not, it's good to see a therapist. It's good to talk to someone a little bit outside your circle,
Right.
especially a professional who really takes time, like I say, to active listen, who's not going to judge you, to help you get to the bottom of things.
Right.
It's good to do that because, I mean, you can't tell everything to everybody in your family. You just can't do that.
That's a
But not only that, Mr. Aquarius. But the thing is that a lot of people don't realize is like I get it. Everyone has a close circle of friends, and
Oh, yeah.
everyone has trusted associates that they feel that they can bounce things off of, right? But
Yes.
the thing is that you can tell someone, and they might
Hmm.
mean well, but all
Yep.
they're doing is putting a band-aid on the
On a
situation.
booth.
They're not
Hmm.
getting to the root of the issue because
ab-
they not 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 because they don't want to, it's because they don't know how to.
Absolutely.
And those are the things that we have to get, like Mr. Shabazz said earlier, we have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to get
Yep.
out of the norm because we have to always get to the root of the problem. If you don't fix the root of the problem,
Yep.
then there's nothing. And that's something that you can take it across the board. It could be from mental health to your job to your relationship. Get
Oh,
to the
yeah.
root of the problem.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Ab-
because I tell
Hmm.
you, I got to a point when it came time to all of this stuff. I tell you, I didn't want to go to work. I was calling off maybe twice a week, and I had the time to do it. I just never did it. But I had the time. I was calling off work every other day, almost every 2 days, maybe out the week. I was going to work frustrated. I was going to work angry. I was going to work mad. And at some point I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Why?
so my question is,
Just why?
the FedEx, right?
Yes, ma'am.
They didn't have, I forget what it's called, but most jobs they have some kind of services that you can use for employees to receive
Yep.
different services.
Yep.
EAP. Have EAP at your job?
That's what I use.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
Yep.
so is it via EAP where you got the therapist that didn't listen to you?
Repeat that.
Did you use EAP when you got the first therapist that did not listen to you?
I had to go through my insurance.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
got it.
Right. Because it got to a point where they were like, well, we can only pay for 8 services. They only 8 sessions a year. I literally had to force my hand to make FedEx pay for all 24 sessions.
Wow.
I had to force them to pay for all 24 sessions.
Are you still in therapy?
No. However, like I say, the therapist that I did see, we still have a connection, and she still does check in with me.
That's nice.
So that's always a great thing.
So what do you
So
got from therapy that you can share with What was a plus, a positive thing that you received from the therapy that you received during your trauma?
One thing I received when I went to therapy, now this might not resonate with most. She asked me one simple question. She asked me one simple question. And when she asked me this, my mind just started going back. She was like, "Do you enjoy writing?" I got happy because journaling is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I share with most people, when you journal, and that's one thing I got out of, when you journal, it can be the most exhilarating feeling in the world because you're getting everything out on paper. You know, no one is reading it but you, unless you decide to. But
And you,
that's one thing. And another thing I got from therapy.
Miss Aquarius, you can also go back to it. Like if you wrote it January
Yep.
1st, 2020, and you go
Hmm.
back, you can see where you were mentally. And,
That's right.
mhm.
You can always go back. You can always go back. But also in the therapy that I got out of it, because I wasn't, at the time, I wasn't really, I guess you could say I wasn't really quite aware. She was like, "Have you heard of mental health therapy?" I say, "Mental health?" I wasn't, I was born in the late 80s, early 90s, so mental health was not fully pushed, you could say.
Right.
Because you know that they call it psychological something, I forget what it is, but mental health, how do you control it, how do you balance it, how do you how do you control it overall? It's many ways to do that. And honestly, like I said, just writing, and more importantly, taking that mental health day. If you need to take a mental health week, by all means take it.
Absolutely. I
You
agree.
need to take that time for yourself. You have to, because if you don't take that time for yourself, I don't care if it's treating yourself to lunch. I don't care if it's going to get a body massage. Me personally, mental health for me is journaling. And every now and again, I like to treat myself to a manicure and a pedicure when I can, just to get a day out of the house.
Right.
Good.
But Mr.
Yeah.
Aquarius, I wanna thank you so much for sharing your story. I
Hmm.
want Miss Leslie and Mr. Sherrod to give everyone their information again, where everyone can follow them, including yourself. This
Sure.
was Straight Facts with Gutta, episode 2, Mental Health Edition. I'm going to start out with Miss Leslie. Please let the people know where they can follow you, where they can reach you. And again, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is on 1-800-273-8255. Miss Leslie.
I'm Leslie Taylor. You can find me on Facebook at Life Coach. And you also can find me on Instagram at Big. To see
Miss
my,
Leslie, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
you
Say it
can't hear.
again.
Can
Yeah,
you
say
hear?
it again.
I'm
Hmm.
Leslie Taylor. You can find me on Facebook as Yvonne Taylor, and on Instagram as Queen Big Les, and follow the Instagram exchange in the flyer that we presented today, so you can see how it's written. I'm a life coach and I'm a social worker, and I thank everyone for tuning in on this platform.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Miss Aquarius, let the people know where they can reach you.
Absolutely. You can actually reach me right here, Miss Aquarius 21, on Instagram. I also have my academic page because I am a dual doctoral student with a master's at Virtual Diary at Becoming Dr. H on Instagram. And you could also follow me at Ms. Aquarius 21 on Facebook. So
Okay.
that's where you can pretty much follow me at.
Thank you, Mr. Aquarius. Malik, you
Mhm.
there, sir?
I'm still here. I'm frozen, but I'm still here.
Yeah, but they
We
can
can
they can hear you though. Let the people know where they can reach you. They want to tap
Beautiful.
in, chop it up with you.
Thank you. Yes, Malik Sherrod, MalikSherrod on Facebook, and Malik Sherrod 2, the number 2 on Instagram. Any questions? Call. I'm here. Let's talk. Let's rap. Therapy is dope. It is
Yeah,
dope.
definitely,
Dr.
definitely.
Willis, what's going on?
Therapy is definitely dope, man. You guys can follow me at Straight from the Gutter. You can go to www.straightfromthegutter.com. You're going to see Straight Facts with Gutter. We have a whole segment. We have the mental health edition, which is this one. This is episode 2. That will be on the website. You can also see Straight Facts with Gutter. We up to episode 9, where we have interviews with different artists. We also have Straight Facts with Gutter, the healthy eating edition, which we have with Lissay, which we're filming the first episode immediately following this show, and then we come in the way Straight Facts with Gutter, the sports edition, which is commencing next Sunday. So definitely you guys tap in with us. We will be back here each and every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. Next Sunday will be episode 3. Miss Leslie has a lot of information for you guys. Every episode will have one national phone line that you guys can reach. Today's was National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. And I would like to thank everyone for coming out. I appreciate you all, Mr. Aquarius, Malik, Ms. Leslie, you already know. Thank you all for coming out. Y'all have enjoy the rest of your night. Therapy is dope,
And thank you. I enjoyed myself.
No, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome to come shop with us whenever you have time. You are an honorary special guest host. By all means, man, come by and chill with us, man. We're here every Sunday.
Thank you. I will take that invite. Thank you.
Please do. Please do. You're very well versed. You're someone that went through it, is going through it, is beating it. So by all means, the floor is yours as well.
Dr. Willis.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Have